Hey everyone, what's up? This is Matt Prina. Hope you guys all had a great Memorial Day, and I'm excited to present a fun little thing you guys can use today. I'm actually presenting on CSS Transitions, which is something that's really cool that I've wanted to learn how to use a little bit better. So I'm glad that I picked this one because it kind of forced me to learn something that I can use building websites that makes them a little bit more fun and interactive. First of all, what are they? What are CSS transitions? So, the main thing that CSS transitions are used for are like button states on like websites. So if you hover your mouse over a button, it'll over an amount of time it will change from one color to another color or something like that. So instead of just trying to explain it to you, which I did a horrible job, I'm just going to kind of give you an example. So on W3 Schools, it gives you an example of a CSS transition. So you drag your mouse over this guy, and over a period of 1 second or 2 seconds or something, it slowly transforms from green to blue, and it goes from small to big. So that's the transition in this case. And it doesn't just automatically change from green to blue. Over a period of time it changes. So it goes from green to darker green to the blue that it finally turns up at, if that makes sense. So, because a lot of things like just automatically change like this here if you look at my mouse. So the main difference with transitions is it does it over a period of time. So here's some other examples in the real world. This one is kind of subtle, but it just subtly changes from green to a darker green. Slowly, same thing on the SitePoint website, these buttons have transitions on them, so you can tell it's not just automatically changing from light gray to dark gray or whatever. It's slowly changing over a period of time. Same thing with this website, pretty much anything clickable on here has some kind of a CSS transition on it. So, you get the idea. So what can they do? I've kind of already explained a little bit, but basically main things that they do is it basically like changes the color of your button or the opacity or the size, the position, stuff like that. Mainly what you're going to want to use it for. So you'll see how it's built here in your CSS. Just like a normal CSS rule, you put the element that you want to modify, and then you write transition. And then there's 4 things that you can add to your transition. Obviously, the first one is the property, so color, for example, or height or width or opacity or whatever it is. Duration, so if you want it to be 1 second, you just put 1s. Or if you want it to be like 300 milliseconds or something like that, you put 300 ms. And then this one is basically the rate at which it's transitioning. So ease basically means like it'll start transitioning slowly and then it will start getting faster. Well, the rate at which it's changing will increase, if that makes sense. Or there's one that's like ease in, ease out, stuff like that. And the delay is if you want it to wait like a second before it changes for some reason. So these ones, ease and delay, like these ones you don't have to use. The only ones you really have to change are the property and the duration, the ones you have to use. So instead of just talking about it, let's show you an example. How do we do it? So for your guys' watching pleasure, I've kind of set up a little demo here in brackets. So I'll just kind of show you how to do it, and it's really easy. Like, I was a little bit nervous that it would be difficult, but it's pretty easy. So I just put in your basic HTML stuff here. So in the body, let's just add like a div, and we'll just give it a class of button. Let's build a little button here. In the style, here we'll say dot button. For the brackets, we'll put a little margin here. for display sake, give it like a 150 pixel margin. You can see it better. We'll say width 100 pixels, height 40 pixels. That sounds like a good button. And then we'll put background color. What happened there? It's being weird. Oh, that's why. My bad. Semicolon. Background color. I'll just use one of these ones they've got here. Aqua. That sounds like a good color for a button. Okay. And then you come down here. Oops. Make another rule for the hover state. So how you do that is just dot button colon hover curly bracket, and you say what you want to change when you hover over it. So for now we'll just do background color, I can spell color, and let's say we'll change it to aquamarine. Aquamarine. Okay, that sounds like a good color. So let's look at this real quick. Save. So here's your aqua button. It's beautiful. And you hover over it. Boom. Aquamarine. I want to click that button so bad. But if it had a transition, that might make it look even cooler. So go back into your button rule and you say transition. And what's the first thing that we put in? The actual thing that we're changing. So background color. And then just put a space. And how long do we want it to last? Let's say 2 seconds, just so you guys can see it happen. In real life, it'd probably be shorter than that, like 1 second or something. And then I don't really care about the ease thing or the delay, so we'll just keep it at that, keep it simple. So let's save that and let's watch our beautiful transition. Oh, look at that, it changes to aquamarine, but it doesn't do it all at once, it does it gradually. That's so beautiful. I just feel like I'm in the ocean, aquamarining around. So there's your button. Let's have it change, make a different change. So another transition we could make is like width. Let's say for some reason you want this button to like shoot out when somebody hovers over it. Maybe there's some other information you want to add to the button when they hover over it or something. So it needs to be wider. So width. So right now it's 100 pixels. Let's change it to like 300 pixels when you hover over it. And let's add that to our transition. So put a comma there. You can add another transition, say width. And let's just do 2 seconds. So it goes at the same time, semicolon, save, update. Let's watch the magic. Oh my gosh, it's changing, and it's changing width and color. That's so cool. Let's do the ease thing. Ease. And just to give you an idea of what that does. Save. Oh. It's faster and a little bit slower. Okay. That's super cool. Alright, and now that gives you guys a kind of a beautiful object lesson of how to make CSS transitions and make your websites look a little bit cooler. So back to my presentation here. So wait, what did we just learn again? So just to recap, CSS transitions, they're for your hover states on your buttons. You can also use them to maybe like make a photo pop out or something like that when you hover over it. There's lots of different applications, but this is how you build them. And just to see it in context one more time, and the code. You've got your style, you write your code for your button just like you normally would. And you write your hover state just like you normally would, what you want to change, and then this is kind of the star of the show right here, is this transition. And so remember, you just put a space between each one, make sure you at least have what you want to change and the time period over which you want it to change, and if you want to do multiple ones like I did, color and width, just put a comma in between them, and then put a semicolon at the end. So that is CSS Transitions. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great week, and I hope I can turn this in after 11 o'clock because it just said by Monday, so it's still Monday, so hopefully that works. Thank you guys, and have a great rest of your Memorial Day. Bye-bye.